So as anybody that's been to my channel before knows, I am a pretty big Metallica fan, specifically Hetfield. Probably one of my biggest guitar influences over the course of my life since I started playing. And one of the things I always wanted when I was a teenager was Hetfield's signature, like just either an ESP Explorer, or I was right around, I might have been like 15 or 16 when I think the JH1, the Flying V with the Hot Rod Flames came out as his first thing. But see, back then his signature guitars were always limited to 200 pieces, and I was a broke-ass teenager, so I could never afford them. So now that I'm older, and obviously make better money, I've been trying to like check off bucket list guitars. And I've already done the LTD Snakebyte, and I always thought the Iron Cross guitar was cool, so I managed to get the white LTD Iron Cross guitar. And well, first let's go over some specs. This has a set neck construction, 24 3/4 inch scale length, mahogany body with a maple top, 3-piece mahogany neck, ebony fretboard with a 350 millimeter radius. I forget what that is in standard measurements. It's snow white with black stripes and black cross. 42 millimeter nut width, thin U neck, 22 extra jumbo frets, black hardware, standard strap buttons, LTD locking tuners, Tone Pros locking tunematic bridge and tailpiece, EMG headset, 2-volume and a tone knob, a 3-way toggle switch down on the lower half of the guitar that actually switches between the pickups, and a dummy 3-way switch up at the top in the traditional Les Paul location that does nothing. It's a fully functioning switch, it's just not hooked up. James doesn't use that particular switch on his personal Les Pauls, so I don't know why they put it on these guitars, even when they built, you know, his own white LT or ESP Iron Cross. I guess it's an aesthetic thing, I'm not sure. But, you know, everything's routed so that you can run wires to the switch. So you could, if you switch out the electronics or whatever, you could put whatever you want there, a kill switch, or even if you don't switch out the electronics, I guess you can put the kill switch there. So, I mean, there's a little bit of flexibility there as far as what you could do with the extra space that is afforded to you with that dummy switch. The first thing that really struck me about the guitar, and I don't know why I didn't realize this looking at pictures, maybe just because of the angles and it's hard to really judge, but, and I know there's full thickness ESP and LTD Eclipses, but I was really struck by how thin the guitar was, to the point where when I pulled it out of the case, I was like, I'm a big dude, so it almost kind of felt like a toy, but I got used to it. If you like the single cut shape but you don't like the weight, that's a good thing. Me personally, I like a little bit of a beefier guitar. It doesn't ruin the experience for me, but I would prefer if the guitar body was slightly thicker. It does help with the balance of the guitar. Sometimes these single cut guitars and Les Pauls can be a little ass heavy, but sitting down and playing it, you don't get like, it sits on your leg fine if you play in the non-classical position. The aesthetics of the guitar. Now, personally, I bought the guitar because I think it looks cool. I already had a white single cut custom type of shape, so I didn't necessarily need that, but like I said, I liked the look of the guitar. This is not like the Snakebyte. You can kind of make it your own. The Vulture, you can kind of make it your own. Uh, I mean, it's pretty clear that the Snakebyte and the Vulture are Hetfield signature guitars. If you even have the slightest idea of what he plays nowadays, but yeah, this guitar just like screams Hetfield and Metallica. Like, it's really obvious between the cross and the pinstripes. I think they call them like racing flag inlays. There's an iron cross on the 11th, 12th, and 13th frets, and just a JH on the headstock. So I mean, it's pretty hard to kind of make this your own. This is one of those signature series guitars that, normally I kind of stay away from the ones that like scream I'm a signature guitar of a particular artist. I like the ones like the Snakebyte or like Jim Root's guitars that they're an artist signature guitar, but you can still kind of make it your own and give it your own kind of flair to it or whatever. But like I said, this one's pretty Hetfield through and through. But outside of the aesthetics of it, it plays really well. This is my 4th LTD that I've either bought or have gotten my hands on, and as with all the other ones, the fretwork is incredible. No sharp fret ends, no high frets or anything like that. There's no finish flaws that I can find. The locking tuners are smooth. The guitar setup came out of the box set up to what I like. There is room to get the strings a little lower for people that like their action a little bit closer to the frets. I'm more of like a 1.6 millimeter guy, maybe 1.4 depending on what kind of guitar it is, but I don't necessarily need the strings laying across the frets, but I don't want them a mile off of the board either. Sound-wise, I mean, it's a mahogany guitar with a maple top and active electronics. The headset sounds, how you kind of expect the headset to sound. They're my favorite set of guitar pickups that are out there, and I have them in a ton of my guitars. I mean, these LTD guitars, man, whether you get the signature guitars or the 1000 series, man, they're great guitars. There's not... there's a reason some of these guys tour with these. It's because they're durable, they play great. There's no real huge flaw in the craftsmanship. I guess since I mentioned it before, I need to mention it here. The lack of a proper battery box is kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world. You just gotta take 2 screws out and remove a piece of plastic to change your battery, as opposed to popping open a little box and pulling your battery out. It's an inconvenience, like I said, but it's not the end of the world. But I mean, if we're being transparent and honest, gotta mention stuff like that. But other than that, man, if you're a Metallica fan or you just like the aesthetics of this guitar, there's a lot here for the price, which in the United States is $1,399. Went up a little bit. I think when I bought mine, it was still like $1,249 or something like that. I forget the exact price. But if the aesthetics of the guitar don't bother you, like the iron cross and the inlays and all that stuff, this is a great guitar. If the look of it isn't for you, I would say skip it and save your money for something that's more to your liking. Because as great of a guitar as this is, I can totally understand why people wouldn't want something with this visual flair to it. And the stripes are not stickers or pinstripes. It's paint underneath the clear coat, so you can't take, it's not like you can, I mean, you could take the cross off, but that's really, you're still going to be stuck with the stripes. And I guess if you took the cross off, you'd be stuck with 2 holes in the back, in the body of the guitar, so yeah, why do that? But anyways, that's the LTD James Hetfield Iron Cross. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch, and like always, if you could rate, comment, and subscribe and all that fun stuff that keeps me in the algorithm, that would be greatly appreciated. And like I said, thanks for taking the time to watch, and we'll see you in the next one.